didn't stumble here. You paused. In a sea of noise, something in you recognized the signal before your mind had time to explain it. That microsecond of awareness isn't random. It's the first proof that your perception is already tuning to a different bandwidth, the bandwidth of quantum consciousness. Ordinary attention skims the surface. You're stopped, listened, and leaned in. That pause is your passkey. It marks the moment the story of life happening to me begins dissolving into the truth of life happening through me. And that is why this is not just another video in your feed. This is episode 1 of your activation, the opening transmission in a sequence designed to move you from classical, fixed reality into the responsive, entangled field you've sensed all along but couldn't name. If you've felt lately as if you're living in two worlds, the predictable routine everyone agrees is real, and a quieter world where thoughts echo back as events, where time stretches and contracts, where random coincidences line up with surgical precision. You aren't broken or too sensitive. You're early. You've been experiencing the edge where inner state bends out a circumstance, where the observer and the observed stop pretending they're strangers, where the universe answers consciousness in real time. The pain under that edge is familiar. The loneliness of seeing more than you can explain. The fatigue of pretending to be ordinary so you don't unsettle the room. The self-doubt that creeps in when no one else seems to notice what's obvious to you. The solution is not to shrink. The solution is to stabilize what's waking up. Give it language, practice, and community. So your sensitivity becomes skill and your intuition becomes navigation. That's what this series is for. Each transmission is a rung in a living ladder. You take it in, your field recalibrates, your life responds. You'll feel it physically, breath deepening on its own, a gentle hum in the hands, a warmth behind the sternum. As your nervous system shifts from survival to expansion, and your attention starts receiving more signal, less static. You'll feel it emotionally, waves of recognition, relief, even tremor, because a part of you has always known this and is finally hearing itself spoken out loud. You'll feel it cognitively as well, dots connecting at speed, patterns emerging, old limits looking paper thin because your awareness is upgrading from linear to multidimensional processing. Before we go further, anchor yourself to this frequency so you don't lose the thread when the next transmission drops. Tap subscribe now. It's simple, it's free, and it keeps you inside the field of this work so the algorithm can't pull you back to sleep between episodes. If your chest feels lighter, if your skin is buzzing, if your inner voice is whispering, keep going, honor it. Hit subscribe so we can move through this activation together, step by step. Stay with me. In the next breath, I'll show you the first unmistakable signs that your quantum activation is already underway, and how to tell the difference between anxiety, imagination, and the real thing. The first proof that your awareness is shifting isn't philosophical. It's somatic. Your body knows before your mind admits it. Notice how breath sometimes deepens on its own, as if some interior intelligence takes the wheel for a few cycles and you feel more space inside your chest than the room seems to hold. That spontaneous fullness isn't random relaxation. It's your nervous system moving from survival circuitry into coherence. Tiny currents may spark in your palms and feet, a soft buzzing at the crown or between the brows, warmth spreading behind the sternum. These are not symptoms to fix. They are signal lights, your bioelectric field widening to handle more information per moment. If tears arrive without a story, if a quiet relief floods you for no external reason, let it. Release is how a system makes room for precision. The mind feels the upgrade as pattern density. Dots connect at a rate that used to take weeks. Ideas arrive whole, not as steps. You think of someone and they text. You set a clear inner intention, and the next day a chance conversation answers a question you hadn't spoken aloud. Time itself misbehaves. Hours stretch when you're immersed, minutes vanish when you're aligned, and the gap between inner decision and outer reflection keeps shrinking. None of this means you're imagining things. It means the boundary between observer and observed is thinning, and your field is learning to converse with events rather than chase them. Emotionally, activation doesn't always feel gentle. Old fear may surface like silt stirred from a riverbed, not because you're regressing, but because higher voltage reveals every frayed wire. Here's the difference. Anxiety contracts and scrambles. Activation expands and organizes. Anxiety feels like static, fast, jagged, hungry for certainty. Activation feels charged but clean, alert, spacious, surprisingly compassionate toward yourself and others. If you're unsure which is which, run these 3 quick tests. 1. The breath test. Take 3 slow inhales to a count of 5 and 3 longer exhales to a count of 7. If the energy intensifies into panic, you're in fight or flight. Step back, ground, hydrate. If it settles into clarity, even if strong, you're reading signal, not noise. 2. The posture test. Imagine a thread lifting the crown while your feet root into the floor. Anxiety collapses posture or makes it rigid. Activation naturally lengthens you, tall, awake, present. 3. The choice test. Ask, what is the smallest, honest action I can take in the next 5 minutes? Anxiety demands grand solutions. Activation offers one precise next move. You'll also notice environmental reflections. Clusters of meaningful coincidences start landing in threes. The right book falls open to the exact paragraph. Conversations echo phrases you wrote privately. Opportunities arrive on the beat of your internal drum, not on the schedule you tried to force. Technology may even behave oddly around you, freezing when you're scattered, flowing when you're clear. Because coherence organizes not only biology, but also the probabilities around it. Stabilization begins with rhythm. Try this 90-second coherence reset whenever the voltage rises. Place a hand on the center of your chest. Breathe as if through that point, 5 seconds in, 7 seconds out. And bring to mind one real feeling of appreciation, a person, a pet, a place, a moment. Appreciation isn't escapism. It's a tuning fork. Within a minute, the heart's electromagnetic field steadies and the mind follows suit. From that steadiness, run the signal versus story protocol. 1. Name the raw sensation, tingling in hands, heat in chest. 2. Name the emotion, anticipation, grief, awe. To drop the narrative, I don't need a reason yet. Sensation plus emotion without story equals clean data. Only then ask for guidance and listen to the first uncomplicated instruction that arrives. To make the invisible measurable, keep an activation log for 7 days. Each evening, write 3 lines. What I sensed, what happened, how I responded. Patterns will reveal themselves, timing windows when you're most perceptive, social settings that amplify or dull your field, choices that increase or decrease synchronicity. Treat it like a scientist of your own consciousness, curious, honest, and free of drama. Remember, readiness isn't the absence of intensity. It's the ability to stay kind, clear, and oriented while intensity moves through. When the lights get brighter, shadows look sharper, not to frighten you, but to show you where to tidy the room so more light can live there. There is a reason some people feel like they're pushing a boulder uphill while others walk as if the path lays itself down beneath their feet. It isn't luck, and it isn't some secret handshake. It's the operating system of consciousness they're running. In the classical mode, reality appears solid, external, and indifferent to the observer. Cause and effect line up like train cars, and nothing moves until something outside gives permission. In the quantum mode, observer and observed are a single field. Attention doesn't merely look, it tunes. Intention doesn't force, it organizes. Emotion doesn't comment, it codes. Practically, that means every time you shift the inner question from what will happen to me to what is trying to happen through me, you step off a one-lane road and into a living network of possibilities where subtle changes within you begin to reconfigure probabilities around you. Think of it like radios. Classical consciousness is a thumbwheel receiver that hisses through static until it stumbles on a station. Quantum consciousness is a lock-on tuner. The moment you set the inner dial, intention clarified, emotion coherent, body regulated, the signal snaps into place. In classical mode, you spend yourself rearranging the outside without changing the station inside. In quantum, you adjust your carrier wave and the program changes. This isn't mysticism. It's attentional hygiene. When your mind is fragmented, the field hands you fragments, delays, near misses, doors that half open. When you enter coherence, a clean aim, a feeling that matches it, a nervous system no longer braced for impact. The field starts answering with synchronicity, those strings of events that look suspiciously choreographed for your next step. You can feel this difference in your body. Classical mode tightens the jaw and narrows the breath because it's trying to control outcomes. Quantum mode widens the breath and softens the gaze because it's listening for alignment. When your system shifts from fight to force into presence to partner, you'll notice the three classic signatures of quantum response. The right names start repeating, the right paths feel lighter underfoot, and the right doors don't just open, they seem to be waiting for you. To make the switch on command, use what we'll call the three-breath quantum pivot first. A direction breath, ask in one unadorned sentence, what is the next small action that expresses my highest intent right now? Let it be specific enough to move, humble enough not to choke. Second, an affect breath. Generate the matching emotion. Gratitude if you're calling abundance. Courage if you're calling change. Tenderness if you're calling reconciliation. And let that feeling saturate your chest for 90 seconds. You're not faking positivity. You're encoding the request in the correct band of the spectrum. Third, an observation breath. For the next hour, watch the field like a patient scientist. Do not hunt. Notice micro-invitations. A message you just happen to see twice. An impulse to reach out that feels clean rather than anxious. A sentence in a book that flickers like a runway light. Classical logic demands proof before motion. Quantum intelligence rewards motion with proof. But what if I'm wrong? What if I'm mistaking desire for signal? In classical thinking, mistakes are failures. In quantum practice, mistakes are calibration. You test, you read the field, you adjust. To keep your compass honest, run every impulse through the 3C filter. Ask yourself, is it clear? Can I say it in a straightforward sentence without ornate justification? Is it calm? Does my body loosen when I imagine doing it, not tighten? Is it compassionate? Does it expand me without requiring anyone else to shrink? Moves that pass the 3C filter tend to be signal. Moves that don't are rarely bad. They're just early. Time is the other axis where the operating systems diverge. Classical mode treats time like a line, past behind, future ahead, the present a narrow hallway between them. Quantum mode experiences time as a weave. The present is a needle pulling thread from memory and thread from possibility to embroider a pattern now. That is why sincere state shifts seem to rewrite what comes next, and sometimes how the last chapter feels when you look back. When you truly change state, not by acting as if but by feeling as is, you alter which probabilities can see you. The future doesn't finally arrive. It recognizes you first. There is a common trap here, proof addiction. The classical mind demands external validation before it allows you to act from inner knowing. Quantum creation inverts that order. You act in micro ways that embody the signal you're receiving, then let the field confirm, with choreography you could not have engineered. This is not recklessness, it's disciplined responsiveness. You remain anchored in ethics and reality checks, but you stop mortgaging your life to the slowest part of your intelligence. One more refinement matters: language. In classical mode, we ask reality to deliver. In quantum mode, we ask reality to converge. Notice the difference between make this happen and reveal the next step in which this wants to happen. The first posture clenches. The second posture cooperates. When you speak to life as an adversary, life replies like one. When you speak to life as a partner, the partnership begins. If you take nothing else from this topic, take this. The switch from classical to quantum is not a personality transplant. It's a posture upgrade you can perform a dozen times a day. Slow your breath, simplify your intention, select the emotion that matches it, and watch for the smallest invitation the field offers in return. Walk through that doorway without drama, then repeat. In a week, your calendar will look different. In a month, your self-talk will be kinder. In a season, people will say you're lucky. You'll know better. You didn't get lucky. You changed operating systems.
Before your mind can name it, your body announces it.
Activation doesn't begin in concepts. It begins a sensation, subtle, insistent, strangely familiar. Think of your physiology as a dashboard lit by indicators from a deeper intelligence. When your consciousness shifts from classical to quantum, 4 signals tend to appear. A fine electrical buzz in the hands or feet as if your skin were listening. A gentle warmth or pulsing at the heart center, coherence coming online. A natural lengthening of the breath, the nervous system exiting emergency mode. And a tingle at the base of the skull or between the brows, perceptual gates opening. Some feel lightness, as though gravity is briefly less invested. Others feel weight, a grounded density like being plugged in. Neither is right or wrong. Both are versions of connection. Your job isn't to chase these sensations or dramatize them. Your job is to notice, stabilize, and let them teach you how to hold more signal with less strain. Begin with a somatic check-in. You can run anywhere in 60 seconds. Step 1. Name, silently, the strongest sensation without judging it. Warmth, buzz, pressure, hollow. Step 2. Normalize. Tell your body, this is safe to feel, and watch the edges soften by a few degrees. Step 3. Nourish. Send 3 slow breaths straight into that area. Imagination counts. Letting the exhale be slightly longer than the inhale. You're not trying to make the feeling disappear. You're telling your biology that expansion will be met with care instead of control. This tiny ritual teaches your system to associate activation with safety, which is exactly what allows more of it. Now add the coherence lock, 2 minutes total, to convert sensations into signal. Minute 1, heart first. Place a hand on your sternum and recall a real moment of appreciation, a person, a place, the quiet after rain. Don't perform gratitude. Feel it until your chest subtly widens. Minute 2, aim plus, allow. Speak one clean intent in a single sentence. Reveal my next aligned step with clarity. Then relax your jaw and eyes as you breathe. You've just paired emotion, the carrier wave, with intention, the code, which is the simplest recipe for quantum responsiveness. After this, practice noticing, not hunting for 30-60 minutes. Signals typically arrive as micro-omens, a name repeating, an invitation that feels unforced, a phrase that seems to glow on the page. Respond with one small action and let the field confirm with the next breadcrumb. What about the heavier signals? The surge of energy that borders on anxiety? Or a pressure at the brow that feels like too much light through a narrow lens? Treat these as calibration, not crisis. Use the ground, expand, receive sequence. Ground by placing both feet flat, eyes on a single object, 3 slow exhales through pursed lips. Expand by widening your peripheral vision until you notice more of the room without moving your head. This tells your midbrain you're not in danger. Receive by asking, if this intensity were information, what would it say? Often the moment you stop resisting the sensation, it resolves into clarity, a boundary you need to set, a conversation to begin, a direction to release. If any sensation is sharp, sudden, or medically concerning, honor your body first and seek appropriate care. Spiritual maturity includes physiological wisdom. Over days and weeks, you'll start to recognize your personal activation profile. Some people run warm heart, quiet mind. Others run cool heart, bright brow. Some feel their hands switch on before insights arrive. Others hear a single calm sentence in the mind and the body follows. Map your pattern. Patterns build trust, and trust is the bridge between fleeting state and stable trait. To accelerate that stabilization, tend 3 simple pillars daily. Breath hygiene, 2 or 3 coherence minutes scattered through the day. Language hygiene, speak intentions as invitations, not ultimatums. And nervous system hygiene, interleave effort with micro-rest, 90 focused minutes. 5 minutes of gaze-softened walking or looking at distance. The point is not to manufacture sensations, but to become fluent in the ones that signal alignment in you. Finally, remember this paradox. The more gently you hold the signs, the more clearly they speak. Quantum activation is not fireworks. It's a dimmer switch sliding the room from dusk to day. When you treat the buzz as a friend, the warmth as guidance, the breath as a doorway, and the tingling as permission to perceive, your body stops arguing with the upgrade and starts conducting it. From here, the field can meet you without resistance, and the choreography you've been sensing has space to begin. There is a moment, so small it hides inside the blink between two thoughts, where you choose which version of reality you will meet. Most people never notice it. They rush past and call the result fate. But once activation begins, you can feel that hinge. The instant your attention lands, the field rearranges itself around where you've looked. Not metaphorically, but functionally, attention is not merely a flashlight in a dark room. It is a selector, a quiet hand that reaches into a cloud of possibilities and invites one to become the event you will soon call what happened. When you recognize this, hesitancy dissolves into craftsmanship. You stop pleading with life to treat you better and start practicing how to aim your awareness so the world has clear instructions for how to form. To work with this deliberately, you'll need a simple temperament shift from force to fidelity. Force tries to bend outcomes. Fidelity sustains a signal until reality has time to condense around it. Think of a radio. Spinning the dial frantically never plays a song. Holding the station does. Begin by choosing a single, elegant question that defines the kind of day you are selecting. What would clarity do next? Or what is the most loving move available now? Keep it short, embodied, behavioral. Then run the 3-beat collapse whenever you face a decision, micro or massive. Beat 1, coherence, 10-20 seconds. One hand on heart, one on belly. Inhale to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 6, twice. This stabilizes your carrier wave. Beat 2, query, 5-10 seconds. Whisper your elegant question once. No bargaining, no decorating. Beat 3, choose under 5 seconds. Take the first action that feels quietly obvious. Send the message, drink the water, decline the misaligned invite, open the document, and don't audition 3 alternatives. The point is not to be dramatic. The point is to teach reality that when you aim, you act. Do this a dozen times in ordinary moments and watch how the big moments start arriving already aligned. Of course, the mind will try to reclaim the throne with analysis, doubting whether something so gentle could be so powerful. That's fine. Give it a job. Let it be your pattern archivist. Each evening, jot 3 lines. 1, what you aimed at. 2, the micro action you took, and 3, the field's reply within 24 hours. A call returned. A door closing cleanly, a chance meeting. An inner ease that wasn't there. You are not keeping a diary. You are training a selector. Within a week, you'll notice your life speaking back in the language of precision. Fewer detours, fewer almosts, more crisp yes-no signals that waste no time explaining themselves. One more refinement, learn the difference between signal and shine. Signal is the quiet, non-negotiable pull that remains after 2 breaths. Shine is the glitter that spikes and fades. Signal feels like a clear click in the chest or a widening behind the eyes. Shine feels like caffeine in the mind. Signal is patient and will meet you again tomorrow. Shine demands you act this second and threatens you with fear of missing out. Your observer key works only with signal. If you're unsure, run a 30-second neutralize, soften your gaze to the edges of the room, relax your tongue from the roof of your mouth, let your next 3 exhales lengthen by a beat. What's left is the thing to follow. Finally, give yourself permission to make beautifully small selections. We're conditioned to think the observer effect should prove itself on lottery numbers or lightning bolts. In truth, mastery arrives through the mundane. Which sentence you write first, which street you cross, which voice you answer inside your head. Each selection is a vote cast in the parliament of the field. Enough votes topple old governments of habit. Enough coherent choices turn an entire life. And the moment you feel that, the exact second your inner click becomes an outer consequence, you understand why the awakened don't chase certainty. They practice aim. They keep fidelity. They let attention quietly choose, and reality, just as quietly, obeys. By now you've felt the buzz under your skin, the way your breath spontaneously lengthens when something true lands, the way reality seems to lean in whenever you do. And yet, just as the signal strengthens, old programs stir. Doubt clears its throat. Be reasonable, it says. Don't get carried away. This is the moment almost everyone retreats. Not because the quantum field closes, but because the mind tightens. So let's name what tightens. When light is named, it's no longer frightening. It becomes navigable. What follows is not a lecture, but a mirror. As you hear these patterns, notice which one tries to pull you back to ordinary. That recognition alone is you right now. Reclaiming authorship. The first block masquerades as humility, the ordinary identity. It whispers that you are just a regular person in a regular life, and that words like activation are for other people. But this is not humility. It is amnesia. True humility does not deny your power. It devotes it. The shift happens in a single sentence you can feel in your bones. I am not becoming special. I am becoming honest. Honesty lets you stop performing smallness and start practicing coherence. The second block is the proof addiction. It demands laboratory-grade evidence before allowing you to act on what you intuitively know. The paradox is that quantum evidence is participatory. You see it when you lean in, not before. Think of it like a motion-activated light in a dark hallway. The illumination appears after you step forward. Begin with tiny stakes that still matter. Send the message you feel urged to send. Choose the route your body says is right. Speak the sentence your heart drafts for you. When the result arrives, often faster than your mind thinks possible, say out loud, "That was evidence." You are training your nervous system to recognize the field's language. The third block is responsibility terror. The moment you realize consciousness participates in creation, a part of you panics. Does that mean I caused everything? No. It means you're no longer limited to reaction. Responsibility is not blame. It is access. It expands your options from what happened to me to what can happen through me now. This single reframe dissolves the paralysis of self-accusation and turns the future into friendly clay. The fourth block is isolation fear. You worry that stepping into quantum awareness will separate you from the people you love or make you too weird to be understood. Here's the quiet truth. Expanded awareness deepens belonging. Surface conversations may thin. Soul-to-soul connection thickens. You will attract and be attracted to those whose nervous systems recognize your frequency. You are not abandoning anyone. You are becoming a lighthouse. Their path stays theirs, but your beam helps. The fifth block wears spiritual clothing, superiority. It creeps in precisely when your gifts begin to work, tempting you to rank reality into awake and asleep. This shrinks your field instantly. The antidote is reverence. When you look at anyone, friend, stranger, critic, and silently say, there is the same infinite awareness, learning as they go, you return to truth. Power increases with compassion because judgment is interference. Compassion is conductivity. The sixth block is the gradual myth, the belief that true change must take years. Linear time is useful for calendars, not for shifts in state. Quantum change is threshold-based, pressure, pop. If you've ever tried to solve a problem for weeks and then, in one shower, the answer arrives whole, that's the pattern. Your task is not to force the pop. It is to keep your system ready. Readiness looks like daily coherence, not daily perfection. The seventh block is the core unworthiness program. It doesn't argue with your ideas. It argues with your right to have them. It says you must earn the right to receive. The cure is radical, embodied permission. Place a hand on your heart, do it now, and tell your body, you are allowed to receive clear guidance. You are allowed to be helped. Feel the subtle exhale? That's not placebo. That's your physiology aligning with a more truthful premise. The eighth block is change resistance, the comfort of the known, even when the known hurts. The mind confuses predictability with safety, but what keeps you small is never safe. It is merely familiar. The way through is micro-courage, small, repeatable acts that teach your system that expansion is survivable. Make the call. Share the idea. Sit in stillness for 2 minutes longer than is comfortable. Each act is a vote for the world you're building. Now, how do you move from insight to integration? Begin with a 3-minute coherence ritual that fits in any day, anywhere. Close your eyes. Inhale for a slow count of 5. Exhale for 5. Letting the breath feel as though it's moving in and out through the center of your chest. While you breathe, recall one real moment of gratitude, something simple and undeniable. Clean water, a hand you held, sunlight on a table. Let that gratitude have weight. As you do, whisper a clear intention, not as a demand but as a direction. Show me the next aligned step. Then, listen not for words but for the body's yes, the softening, the warmth, the leaning toward. Take that step before doubt finishes its sentence. This is the muscle that changes lives. Add one more practice that rewires quickly, an evidence journal. Each day for 7 days, write 3 lines only. What I felt, what I did, what happened. Keep it neutral, no hype. After a week, read back. You'll see a map of responsiveness that your analytical mind can't dismiss. That map becomes trust. Trust becomes signal strength. Signal strength becomes a life that feels uncannily timed with the world around you. And if you stumble tomorrow, if an old block flares, if you forget, if you spiral, good. That's the perfect place to practice. Quantum growth isn't a straight ascent. It's a spiral staircase. You pass the same landing from a higher floor. Smile when you notice the pattern. Name it, breathe coherence. Ask for the next true inch, not the next perfect mile. Then take it. The field meets you at the inch. You are not fighting to become someone else. You are relaxing into who you've been all along. The blocks were not proof that you lacked the signal. They were noise layered over it. As the noise quiets, your natural broadcast returns, clear, humane, precise. And when your broadcast is clear, life does what life loves to do with a clear transmitter. It answers. Awakening is a threshold, not a finish line. And once your signal comes online, the real art is carrying it through an ordinary Tuesday. Emails, errands and detours without dimming it. Begin before the world asks anything of you. Sit upright with your feet grounded and breathe through the heart. 5 counts in, 5 counts out, until your face softens on its own. Let one real memory of gratitude bloom in color and texture. Then give the day a single sentence of direction, clear and kind. Today I move 1 inch toward what is most alive. You're not promising the future. You're tuning the instrument that will play today. Before you plunge into tasks, hold your top 3 in awareness and pass them through a quiet prism. Is this coherent with my sentence? Is it kind to my nervous system and the people it touches? And is it truly necessary? If something fails 2 of the 3, release it or redesign it. Move in pulses rather than strain. 25 focused minutes on one meaningful action, a brief pause to breathe or stretch, then another pulse. Each sprint begins with a whispered request. Show me the easiest way this wants to happen, because effort is classical, while elegance is quantum. When the body hardens, jaw tight, shoulders rising, stand. Place one hand at the base of the skull and one over the heart. Widen your peripheral vision until you sense the room's edges without turning your head. Breathe in for 4 and out for 6 and ask, what would this look like if it were easy? Often the answer is disarmingly simple. Send the message you're avoiding, delegate the stray piece, say the truer thing. Curate what comes into your field as carefully as a musician chooses strings. Fewer alarms, fewer hot takes, more primary sources, more compassion. Guard the first and last 10 minutes of the day as sacred bandwidth. If a conversation leaves you dull or clenched, end it sooner, and with kindness. You are not fragile. You are precise. Static will arrive, a meeting that forces, a headline that hooks, a memory that bites, so repair quickly. Name the program, proof addiction, isolation fear. Normalize it, of course this shows up as I grow. Neutralize it with a minute of heart breathing. Then navigate 1 honest inch, step outside. Drink water, send the straightforward sentence. In relationships, be a lighthouse rather than a lecturer. Imagine your chest as a quiet lantern and let your presence invite, not pressure. If someone asks, share your experience in 1 honest paragraph and a single practice that helped today. Let them come to the water by their own thirst. Influence, in the quantum sense, is field before argument. Make a daily rendezvous with the avoided thing, a difficult call, a boundary, an honest sentence, and offer it 10 minutes of courage, no heroics. Start the draft, ask for the meeting, speak the line. Each micro-act teaches your body that you can do uncomfortable things without abandoning yourself. At day's end, skip the autopsy and choose integration. Open your notebook, list a few moments when you were coherent, and name 1 inch you'll take tomorrow in under 15 minutes. Then close the book. Gentleness keeps the channel open. Treat the borderland before sleep like a golden gate. Screens away, room dim. Ask one clear and specific question. What is my next graceful step with X? Breathe through the heart for 2 minutes and release the question. Do not chase images. Let them come and go like boats on a river. Keep a notebook within reach to catch fragments on waking. With time, you'll feel the difference between dream static and dream signal, because signal arrives with calm inevitability. If the day tilts hard, step under open sky, place both palms against a wall or a tree, and name 3 truths that require no belief. I am breathing, I am here. I can choose my next inch. Walk a slow square, 10 steps forward. 10 to the right, 10 back, 10 left until your nervous system answers, ready. Let your space collaborate with you. One object in view that embodies your sentence for the day, one scent for focus and another for closure. A cleared surface at day's end, so emptiness becomes a welcome mat for tomorrow's signal. Find 2 or 3 allies and meet briefly once a week. Sit in a minute of silence. Each person shares one evidence moment from the week and 1 inch they'll take in the next 48 hours. No advice or fixing, closing quiet. Clean attention is a field that grows everyone faster than any shouted tip. And let language become your lever. I allow what is already true in me to surface. Show me the easy way this wants to happen. Same awareness, different pace. I can do uncomfortable without abandoning myself. Speak only what your body can believe. Words delivered from the body become instructions to the body. This works because classical productivity wrings outcomes from effort, while quantum embodiment invites outcomes by stabilizing state. Coherence is both compass and catalyst. It points you toward the next inch and hastens its arrival. When a day is braided from small, sincere agreements with yourself, breathe here, choose this, stop now, seed later, synchronicity stops being a surprise and becomes your native weather. You won't need to announce your awakening. The way time cooperates, the way conversations soften, and the way doors open will announce it for you. This is where we land, not as someone who has learned a clever idea, but as someone who remembers what has always been true. You are not a spectator pressed against the glass of your own life. You are the living glass, the light and the view beyond it, one seamless field noticing itself from a unique angle called you. That recognition is not a trophy to place on a high shelf. It's a practice, a posture, a way of moving that keeps opening doors you did not know were there. The proof will not arrive as fireworks, but as small, unmistakable shifts in the fabric of your ordinary day. A sentence comes out cleaner than you planned. A delay saves you from an ill-fitting path. A door you once had to push now swings when you approach. The world will call it coincidence. You will feel it for what it is, coherence. Begin to treat coherence as your North Star. It is not perfection. It is agreement. Agreement between breath and belief, between what you say and what your body says about what you say. When the two align, time softens. You do less and more happens. This conclusion is not a crescendo that sends you back to where you were. It is a quiet ignition. Let it light the first 10 minutes after you wake and the last 10 before you sleep. Guard those thresholds as if they were gates to a garden, because they are. Ask one clear question at night and listen without reaching. In the morning, act on the smallest true step that presents itself. Your steps, humble as they are, tell the field you are serious, and the field responds with logistics you could not have designed if you tried. You do not need to bulldoze your way into a different life. You need to become easy to help. Think of the field as a precise friend who loves clarity. It doesn't bargain well with someday. It responds to clean requests and aligned behavior. Name what you are ready to be responsible for, not as pressure but as permission. I am the kind of person who protects an hour for what matters. Or, I am the kind of person who speaks the truer thing, even when my hands are buzzing. Speak it slowly enough that your nervous system can nod along. The quantum responds to congruence, not performance. And congruence is built from dozens of gentle agreements kept in private. There will be days when the old gravity returns, the doubt, the speed, the ache to over-explain. Expect them, welcome them, and shorten them. Name the program when it boots up, even if all you can say is, the part of me that thinks I must earn my belonging. Breathe through the heart for a minute and ask a better question. What would this look like if it were 10% easier? Then do that 10%. Quantum reality loves partial credit. Whenever you move even a small distance toward the truer version of you, a matching adjustment ripples through the field. You are never acting alone. You are co-editing a sentence the universe has been writing with you since before you learned your first word. This path does not make you superior. It makes you useful. Superiority fractures coherence faster than fear. What lifts you will lift others best through presence, not pressure. Be the lighthouse, not the loudspeaker. When people are near you, let them sense that their own intuition grows louder in your radius. If they ask how you do it, share one thing you actually practiced today. One breath, one sentence, one boundary, and then stop. Quantum influence is invitation plus example. It is never coercion. The point is not to convince the room. It is to hold a field that makes remembering easier for anyone who wishes to remember. Keep your attention clean. Noise is not evil. It is expensive. Curate inputs with the same care you reserve for your most intimate spaces. Choose fewer, better voices. Give your focus jobs that matter. Your attention is the currency that purchases timelines. Spend it with intention, and the receipts will show up as serendipities. Introductions at the exact right hour. Solutions that arrive 1 minute before they're needed. A phrase overheard that unknots a weeks-long dilemma. If you've ever said, "I could never have planned it that perfectly," that was the field validating your investment strategy. There is tenderness in all of this. You are not a machine being optimized. You are a human being remembering how to be held by a reality that wants to collaborate. Let yourself be comforted as you become powerful. Celebrate the quiet wins. The message sent without bravado, the nap taken without guilt, the no that preserved a future yes, the laugh that softened a room and opened a door no argument could find. These are sacred technologies disguised as kindness. They build trust with yourself, and self-trust is the port through which larger ships arrive. As you integrate, consider your environment a partner and not just a backdrop. Place one object within sight that embodies the person you are becoming. A tool, a photo, a line of poetry, and let it train your nervous system all day long. Keep your workspace slightly emptier than feels normal so possibility has a place to sit. Build a micro-ritual that closes the day. Clear the desk. Write 3 evidence moments of alignment. Set 1 gentle intention for the morning. This is not quaint. This is architecture. The field loves a prepared room. Remember also that the story you carry about yourself is a drafting document, not scripture. You can edit it with mercy. When you catch an old line, "I always freeze in moments like this," or "I'm bad with endings," cross it out and write a truer sentence in the present tense. I breathe and answer one thing honestly. I end with warmth and clarity. Read your new line aloud while your body is calm. You are not pretending. You are training signal. And signal repeated becomes reality's habit around you. If you feel called to serve beyond your own life, and many of you do, begin locally. Find or form a circle where coherence is practiced as a craft. Meet, breathe, share one piece of evidence from the week when the field met you halfway, speak 1 inch you will take before you see each other again, and keep each other honest with kindness. No guru, no pedestal, just a handful of humans refusing to forget. These tiny constellations broadcast further than you think. The grid strengthens. The improbable begins to look inevitable. You may still wonder, quietly, why me? Let the simplest answer be enough, because you heard the note and you didn't look away. Millions did. You didn't. You paused, and in that pause, the lock recognized the key. This does not make you chosen. It makes you awake. With wakefulness comes responsibility of the softest kind. Be fair to your body, be clear in your word, be generous with your presence, be humble with your gifts. Do not hoard what you learn, embody it. Nothing teaches like a life at ease in its power. From here, your next chapter does not require a dramatic leap. It asks for a living continuity, a through line of small, sincere choices that stack into momentum. When you stand at a doorway, widen your peripheral vision and breathe through the heart until your body says, now. When you craft a message, remove one sentence of bravado and add one sentence of truth. When you are tempted to sprint, ask whether the slower path would actually get you there sooner. Keep asking the question that changed everything. What is the easiest way this wants to happen? And then let it. If there is a benediction for this work, it is this. May your attention be gentle and exact. May your words fit your breath. May your actions be small and unignorable. May your days be a string of coherent hours. May your nights return instruction you can remember in the morning. May your presence give others permission to be honest. May your success sound like relief. May your power feel like kindness. And when the doubt arrives again, as it will, may you recognize it as an old friend who no longer drives the car. Offer it the passenger seat and continue toward what you love. We end as we began, with a choice measured in seconds rather than years. You can close this window and let the old gravity reclaim the room. Or you can mark this moment in the simplest practical ways. Write one sentence that you will honor tomorrow. Move one commitment to create the hour you need. Tell one person the truth you've been holding back. Set one reminder for 10 minutes of breathing tonight with a question worth sleeping on. It is not the size of the step. It is the sincerity of the step that changes the field. The universe is exquisitely calibrated to meet sincerity. If this transmission steadied you, if something in you felt recognized rather than persuaded, let us stay in the same signal. Subscribe now so this field can continue to find you at the exact hour you need it, not as a vanity metric, but as a deliberate pact with your future self. I will keep this channel open. New layers will arrive when you are ready. The timing has always been the genius here. For now, carry this. You are allowed to be powerful without hardness, soft without weakness, precise without cruelty, changed without spectacle. Reality has been waiting to collaborate with you at this level. You noticed the note. You answered. The rest is rhythm.